Welcome to Lookouts and Waterfalls in the Blue Mountains, Episode 6, Let Our Videos Be Your Guide. In this episode, we drive to Lawson to visit Adelina Falls, Junction Falls, Federal Falls, and Cataract Falls.
In this episode, our first stop is Adelina Falls, on the southern side of Lawson. We have followed the M4 motorway from Sydney, and the turn-off is Orient Street, 31 kilometres along the Great Western Highway from the bridge over the Nepean River. If your vehicle has a trip meter, set it to 0 as you exit left into Orient Street. At 290 metres, turn left into Honour Avenue. Then at 950 metres, stop on the right-hand side of the road.
These are the roads we took to get to the start of the walking track.
This walk is an unpretentious bushwalk which takes us to 4 very small but very pretty waterfalls in the southern area of Lawson.
We are led to believe it is called the South Lawson Waterfalls circular walking track that returns us to the track start.
From here it's a short walk of about 200 metres to Adelina Falls on Lawson Creek.
We've seen one sign at the road, and now I see another sign, which is obviously a park sign. Take a quick look at it. See if there's anything on it we can discern. Welcome to South Lawson Park. And yet another sign, a very old sign by the look of it, to Lawson, to Cataract Falls. Don't want to go to Lawson. Looks like it's 24 kilometres. And 8 kilometres. I don't think that's correct. I think they've left the decimal point out.
This is the first of several intersections along this circuit walk, so directions can get a bit confusing. It's a good idea to have a close look at the map at the start of the walk. To get to the dog park, turn right, otherwise keep going straight.
There's always a steep bit at the beginning, just to get you used to the idea.
Do we have a description or any history for this area, Graham?
I have both. As far back as 1880, the Adelina Falls were praised in the newspapers. Here is one description. The Adelina Falls are not less than 70 feet, that's 21 metres, in their unbroken descent, tumbling over a mass of dark, shining rock into a scene of sylvan beauty. This water-formed chasm is fringed with masses of green brushwood and long reedy grass, well shaped everywhere by the white-trunked eucalyptus gum trees and several elegant coachwood trees. Near the base of the Grand Cascade, there is a fine display of ferns, with ferns and creepers overhanging the waterfall like waving tresses. This might seem trivial, But the sign we showed you at the start of the track reads Adelina Falls, not Adelina, as I've alluded to earlier. My extensive research has uncovered that the waterfall is named after Adelaide Mary Wilson, born in 1850, and the first girl born in Lawson. Her father, Henry Wilson, was licensee of the Blue Mountains Hotel in Lawson. She was called Adeline or Adelina by locals, so I guess either name is correct. She died in 1898 at the age of 47. Around 1875, the waterfall was called Livingstone Falls, after Dr. Livingstone, the doctor missionary who explored many parts of Africa. This area of Lawson was, at that time, referred to as Santa Cruz Park, named by Mr. Jose Guillermo Hay, who owned all the land in this vicinity. I'll speak more on him a little later in this episode and during the next. A vantage spot to survey the scene is the Lookout Rock, which shows the marks of many feet and proves that the beautiful Adelina Falls is frequently visited and admired.
I'm walking along this beautiful track, Graham. It's good to see them that they've actually sort of maintained the tracks along here, although this is rustic, but
Here's the fun bit. To Adelina Falls, 50 metres to Junction Falls and Cataract Falls. At least they spelt Adelina correctly. This is a popular walk. A lot of people here in comparison to the ones we've done so far. This is a photograph of the falls taken by David Noble. Back across the bridge. And up some stairs to the cross paths. Back on the main track.
Our second location today is Junction Falls. It is found roughly 600 metres down a side path, further down the track.
And yet another bridge to cross the creek. This is the track to Junction Falls from Adelina Falls. Since this is a circular track, another way to walk to this fall is from Cataract Falls.
This is an easy walk except for the stair climbing in places. Do we know how this fall got its name? And are both Adelina and Junction Falls on Lawson Creek, Graham?
Good question, Jeff. The fall is named Junction Falls because it is situated very close to the junction of Ridge Creek and Lawson Creek that on maps flow into Bedford Creek. Some say the junction is below Junction Falls, but until we get there, I cannot say for sure whether that is the case. Let's hope it's above. Then we will see considerably more water flowing over it than Adelina Falls. This fall was previously named Stanley Falls by our friend Jose Guillermo Hay in 1871, but some people called it Hay's Cascades, after him obviously. However, in a January 1883 letter to the editor of the Sydney Morning Herald, Mr. Hay's reply to a published tourist letter wrote, "The various falls have not been altered. The Junction Falls have not been renamed Hay's Cascade, but they are known as Stanley Falls." Mr. Hay was the Reserves trustee appointed on the 16th of January 1880, and it was he who named two parks in Lawson, San Jose to the north and Santa Cruz here. Published in the Nepean Times on the 22nd of October 1910 is an article titled Lawson Beauty Spots. It reads, "Continuing along the well-made track winding through a beautiful valley covered with ferns for about a quarter of an hour, the visitors will find themselves at the Junction Falls. A romantic meeting of two falls in a deep, mossy sylvan glen is one of the prettiest spots around Lawson." Junction Falls. Someone's put a plaque down here in memory of Prue Angel, passed away aged 54 years while walking in Slovenia.
In 2010, the 5 waterfall walk was Prue's favourite walk. There you go. Nice little overhang here. So by the looks of it, this is the combined waters of those two creeks.
This is a photograph of the falls taken by David Noble. Our third stop today is Federal Falls, and that's still further along this track. If you wish to see the other two waterfalls, continue along the walking track.
See you in part 2. Bye.
See you then. Whatever way you discover the Blue Mountains, we want you to have a safe and enjoyable experience. Whether you drive, catch public transport, or cycle to the destinations we visit here, some walking is necessary. The walks are usually short, but can contrast greatly, so you need to be aware of the risks. Have a safe and enjoyable sightseeing experience at these Lookouts and Waterfalls. Don't forget to subscribe and click the notification bell to be alerted when next we visit the Blue Mountains.